Continental Championship Wrestling, home of the National Wrestling Alliance, featuring champions from throughout the continental United States. And now to your host, world-renowned wrestling commentator, Gordon Soley.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so very much, and welcome once again to Continental Championship Wrestling, sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance, the oldest and largest sanctioning body of wrestling the world over. First of all, we've got some tremendously exciting news to tell you. The Tennessee Stud has hired perhaps the most famous masked wrestler in the world to come into his stable. We'll be hearing from the Tennessee Stud a little bit later on in the evening. That man is, in fact, Mr. Wrestling #2. Next week, of course, we have the World Championship Tournament coming up. The winner of that tournament to meet the World Heavyweight Champion right here on television, Mr. Ric Flair. And it appears that Jimmy Golden, who has been out of action for several months, all of a sudden is popping up everywhere in the Continental Championship Wrestling area. We'll have more about that a little bit later on in the evening as well. In fact, the matter is, immediately following this next match, we will be bringing you information about Jimmy Golden himself. Tonight, of course, or today, we're going to be seeing the Bullet in action, Norvell Austin, Mr. Olympia, the Nightmares, Tim Horner, and many, many more. It's going to be a great hour of Continental Championship Wrestling. And for the introductions on our first match, let's turn now to our ring announcer, Mike Jackson.
Gordon, he's popping up here, popping up there, like I said, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. You know, we can wrestle 2 men at a time, but when you look around and you're having to look in the second row ringside, in the first row ringside, somebody to pop up somewhere, we're not ready for that. We're tag team. We're not wrestling 2 against 3. That's not the way it is. But all of a sudden, here comes Jimmy Golden, here and there. He's become a real thorn in our side. He's popped up in Dothan. He's popped up in Montgomery. Now he's popped up in Pensacola. Who knows where he's going to pop up next?
And it could very well be right here.
Yeah, you can see here the Bullet's got the sleeper. But if you'll watch closely in the corner here, you'll see a man come down and nail me from behind. Yeah, there he is right there. Out I went, just happening everywhere, man. He's just coming out of nowhere, hitting us from behind. That's the only way he can do it. He's a back jumper, back stabber, no good son of a gun. That's all there is to it. Here he comes here. He's hit Bullet here, and they go to work. Gee, they do all kind of stuff to the Bullet here. Oh, man, they hit the...
Well, I'll tell you what, of course, this is a problem that is going to have to be resolved. I understand that you talked to Bob Geigel and said, hey, if the man's going to be in action, let him come up front, sign a contract, and wrestle.
That's right, brother. Put his name on the contract. Let us see him. Thank goodness my friend Scott Armstrong was there in Pensacola. He came out. He made the save. He saved me probably from serious injury. I want to thank everybody for this trophy. This is a personal trophy, Gordon. This is not a trophy from the NWA, from Bob Geigel or anybody else. This is a trophy from the fans, and I appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. But I want to say this. Scott, I want to thank you. I appreciate it. Brad Armstrong is at home. Every time I go by there, he's laying with his leg propped up. I got Steve. I got Scott. Brother, we're not down for the count. They may do anything they want to me, but they ain't got me down for the count. And Jimmy Golden, no matter where you pop up from, you may pop up from the concession stand. You may come out of the popcorn popper if you want to. But when it's all over, I may pop your head just like a popcorn popper.
Fair enough. I'll tell you what. I want to talk more to these gentlemen, but right now we've got to pause for these words.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Sounds fair to me. Let's go to Tommy Rich right now and see what he and others have to say.
You know, tomorrow night, Tommy, it's going to be pandemonium in Pensacola, right down at the auditorium, because we're going to do some heavy, funky getting down. And I got somebody that you done already softened up. I want to thank you for softening that nightmare up for me, and I'm going to finish you off. And I know who you got. You got that Adrian Street.
Something about special challenge match.
What's up?
Adrian Street. They say I beat you in Pensacola, Florida. I get a shot at the Southeastern title. Well, Adrian Street, you bring your sweet self on down there because it's going to be one heck of a fight. And, Linda, you better keep your nose out of it, too.
And the Nightmares will be in individual matches. And, gentlemen, you're going to have a busy night.
That's right. It won't be too busy because everybody knows we're just as good in singles as we are in a tag.
Ladies and gentlemen, this television match is also scheduled with one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the ring, weighing in at 284 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, would you welcome William Tabb. Tabb. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent making his way to ringside. He weighs in at 231 pounds. He is from Pensacola, Florida. Would you welcome your approval to Mr. Olympia?
Hey, I told you it's not Mr. Olympia anymore. It's Mr. Perfect, you understand?
Mr. Olympia, we're moving out against Wild Bill Tabb. And brother, since he has been unmasked, he has been hard to get along with. Count is on, and Wild Bill Tabb has not been able to get back into the ring. Mr. Olympia right after him once again. Special happy birthday to Bobby Bear, 33 years old. Mr. Olympia totally dominating the situation as Wild Bill Tabb in a lot of trouble. One fall match, Jerry Stubbs. The diabolical cutthroat, if you've ever seen one. Wow. Right down across the head of Wild Bill Tabb. Stubbs, by the way, a little bit richer than he was before. We'll tell you about that in a few minutes. Don't forget, of course, next week, Southeastern title match. The exotic Adrian Street trying to regain his title. That'll be next week. Wild Bill Tabb still in a lot of trouble. Olympia powering down on him. Olympia has a extremely well-proportioned body. Both upper and lower body extremely strong. I want to say a special hi to all of our good friends in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Huntsville, Tennessee, Johnson City. Stubbs caught him coming off the ropes. And that portends a lot of problems for Wild Bill Tabb. Meanwhile, Jerry Stubbs, by the way, a lot of folks have been calling him Chrome Dome when he comes into a ring without his mask and a high vertical suplex. He got the pinfall. He got the pinfall. No question about Jerry Stubbs' victory there. We'll take another look at that in slow motion. You'll see what I'm talking about. Stubbs executing perfectly. And there you see him getting the 1-2-3 count, and here's our official word.
An official time of 4 minutes and 36 seconds. The fall and the match go to the self-proclaimed Mr. Perfect.
Well, he calls himself Mr. Perfect. Nonetheless, he is a little bit wealthier than he was earlier because of what happened recently here on television. I'll be talking to Mr. Olympia, Jerry Stubbs, if you prefer, in just a moment regarding all of that. As you know, of course, the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller, has put a bounty out on the Bullet. He wants the Bullet unmasked because he believes that the Bullet is indeed Bob Armstrong. Well, that has yet to be proven. Should it be proven, then Bob Armstrong, of course, would be suspended indefinitely in the NWA. I might point out that Bob Armstrong's termination of his departure from Continental Championship Wrestling is up as of April 7th. So watch for the return of Bob Armstrong on April 7th.
He's not going to make it, baby. Bob Armstrong is going to be exposed, and I mean now.
Let me explain this. Last week, you people witnessed Armstrong taking off my mask. And who am I? Mr. Perfect Jerry Stubbs. But, Armstrong, I messed up. I slipped up just that much. Because when I took your mask off, I should have got mine too. And then everybody would have seen that it was Bob Armstrong, and you would be out of here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do.
It seems like everybody could see it, but the referee and you, Gordon Soley, you can't see nothing either. You got your glasses? Maybe you ought to change them for the people.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, you beg my pardon, because you know dang well that was Bob Armstrong under that mask.
Well, I'll tell you what.
But did you know that I was $5,000 richer? Because I did get the Bullet's mask, and he gave me Tennessee Stud gave me $5,000.
All right, I'll tell you what. He's bragging about this rather ill-gotten gain, I might add. Let's take a look at the Tennessee Stud and his comments regarding this $5,000 and the bounty.
That's right.
I guess all you rednecks out there can recognize what this is. It's $100 bills. Well, I've asked the members of my stable to be present at the set when I make this interview, because I want all of you to know. Last week on the program, Mr. Olympia took the mask off the Bullet, and it should have been, his face should have been exposed. However, he had Mr. Olympia's mask in his hand, and he put it on his head. Well, this is for you, Jerry Stubbs, Mr. Olympia. $5,000 bonus for pulling the mask. And now, gentlemen, if I can, for just a second here, I'm going to up the ante, gentlemen, to $25,000 for the man who pulls the mask off the Bullet and exposes his face to be Bob Armstrong like we know he is, because then your career will be over. $25,000. Now, when you go back to the set, when this interview is over, I want my men to show what happened again last week. I want everybody to take a quick look, a good look, because I still say you can see Bob Armstrong's face there. His career may be over, and I won't have to be out this $25,000. But you've got $5,000 coming, Jerry Stubbs, and $25,000 more if you can do the job right.
All right, I'll tell you what, let's do.
Good look.
This man...
Hey, wait a minute.
Take a good
Wait just one second.
What?
I want to take a look what happened.
Hey,
I want to take a look
I
what
wanna
happened
see it
here.
too.
You did lose your mask, so let's take a look.
All right, right here. Here you can see the mask being pulled from the head of Mr. Olympia, who in turn, it proved to be no question about it, Jerry Stubbs.
The mask came off. The Bullet has in his hand Mr. Olympia's mask.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
right there, he's got his hand raised in victory.
That's right. And yeah, you see me without my mask. So what? Now take a good... Hey!
Just a minute. Now, there you see Boomer. There's Boomer H. Lynch in the ring. 3 men on one man at one point.
No, it's 3 on 3.
Wait a minute. Wait. Look, right here. Look. Okay, I'm going to pull it off. Here it comes. Coming off right here, Rod. See Ronald West.
Right there.
There it is. Now look. There was Bob Armstrong. Now, you saw it.
Wait a minute.
Could not see it.
I could not see nobody. But Mr. Olympia, I want to say one thing. In his hand, he had your mask. When it came up, he had a mask on, and I don't know who it was.
That was my mask he had on.
And therefore, the Bullet will still be wrestling in the Continental area.
The Bullet is here to stay until such time.
That's just right up your alley. You like that, don't you, Gordon Soley?
Well, I would like to say one further thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been reported to me that when Boomer Lynch or Jerry Stubbs enter the arenas, some of you have been calling them chrome domes. Please don't do that anymore. It upsets them. Yes, it does upset them, so...
One thing, you take it, put it in your pipe, and you smoke it, Gordon Soley, that the Bullet's days are numbered. That my brother has put up money. He's put up money to see his mask gone. Whether I get it, he gets it, Boomer gets it, Jimmy Golden gets it, and it's gone.
$25,000 bounty. It is indeed a $25,000 bounty.
You know,
Remember,
I don't like you, Gordon Soley. I don't like you at all.
well,
After that last remark, you could get in a lot of trouble.
we'll be right back. Tuesday night in Milton, Florida, the Milton High School Gymnasium. On Thursday night in Lucedale, Mississippi. Going to be an outstanding card there. And, of course, Friday night, 8 p.m., Fort Whiting Armory in Mobile, an outstanding card. And there's a gentleman who has some very definite opinions.
You know, last time in Pensacola, Terminator, I'm going to give you a little credit. You went the time limit. I didn't beat you, but you didn't beat me. Then you came out and you asked for 5 more minutes. And I gave you 5. But you didn't beat me then. That was no excuse. This is no time limit match. I plan on beating you.
Well, you've heard the man.
Well, Tim Horner can say all he wants to. Horner, when you get in the ring with the Terminator, it's just going to be a matter of time before you realize why they do exactly call me the Terminator. So when the match is over and your shoulders are down 1, 2, 3, your reign as a junior champion is going to be over and mine's going to start. So you're going down, buddy.
We'll find out next Friday night in Mobile. Well, you heard the applause for the Nightmares, and it was very sparing indeed, I might add. However, they have a couple of things they want to talk about right now, and I felt, in fairness to them, we should give them an opportunity.
You know, everybody comes out here, and they get all the time they want on television. We've had thousands of cards and letters demanding more time for the champions, and now we got it, baby. Everybody wants to show films. We got one we want to show if they'll roll it.
Well, you're talking about a very unfortunate incident. I'm referring, of course, to a situation where there was a tar and feathering that took place. And let's take a look at it right now.
Yeah, what you see right there, Gordon, it's where we take care of Johnny Rich, and now we're on Tommy Rich, just like white on rice, baby, just like ugly on 8. He's down on his back right where he ought to be. Now look just what's going to happen to Johnny Rich. He's going to be Big Bird, baby. We want to show everybody this. And what is that? Molasses, baby. They wanted to humiliate somebody by cutting their hair, but we couldn't think of a better way to do it than tar and feather that punk right there. And that's exactly what we're doing. Humiliation at its best. The Birmingham Bird, exposed right there, baby, by the Nightmares.
Well, I think you've made your point rather abundantly clear.
Yes, right, baby. It's real clear with that film. They wanted somebody to wear a chicken suit. Well, baby, we made our own chicken. Oh, Birmingham Bird, Johnny Rich. Look at it. Oh, that is great.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think that's enough humiliation for one time here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Gentlemen, hang loose for just a moment. I would like to hear from the Riches right after we pause for these words.
Nobody wants to hear that, Gordon. We don't want.
This Tuesday night in Milton at the Milton High School Gymnasium. Thursday night in Lucedale, Mississippi. Outstanding card there at 8 p.m. and in Mobile at Fort Whiting Armory Friday night at 8 p.m. In a Southern street fight, the Bullet and Steve Armstrong against Luscious Robert Fuller and Jerry Stubbs. Southeastern tag titles, Tornado Tag Team rules in effect. Tommy and Johnny Rich against the Nightmares. All 4 men in the ring at the same time. Norvell Austin against the exotic Adrian Street, plus 2 other matches. I want to take a moment right now before I talk further to the Nightmares. We have been joined in the ring, along with Mike Jackson, our Johnny Crash Rich and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Let's listen to their comments, shall we?
Johnny, it seems like the feud continues to get hotter and hotter.
That's right, Mike. You know, since me and Tommy have been together, we've beat them Nightmares in every kind of match you can imagine. Well, now, they're usually 2-on-1, or they're backstabbing some way. Well, the only thing I know is for all 4 of us to get in the ring at the same time and go at it till somebody can't stand.
Somebody say something about tornado match. Anything goes. You know, because the way it always ends up is 2-on-2, everybody in the ring. This way it'll start. All 4 of us in the ring at the same time. Tornado match.
Gordon.
You know, if I hear somebody said something about one more time, I'm going to puke, baby. Let me tell you something. Tornado match. You get in the ring with 2 hurricanes, baby. It's not tornadoes. You know, we put the belts up against you in a regular tag match, tag title match. You couldn't beat us in, boys, with 1 at a time in the ring. How in the hell do you expect to beat us with both of us in the ring at the same time?
That's right. And I'm going to tell you something, Riches. We're going to walk in the ring in that tornado match, putting the titles on the line. We're going to be the champions, and we're going to beat you and stay the champions.
Well, we'll find out when it happens.
Come on.
First of all, before we close on this hour of Continental Championship Wrestling, let me give thanks to all of the people who have been so extremely critically helpful on this program. Our director, of course, is Steve Johnson. On cameras, Dennis Leslie, Tim Brown, and Evelyn Morin. Our editor, of course, is Claudia Cumby. And our executive producer is Sherry Welch. We certainly want to thank them. Without them, this program would not be possible. Now, the important thing to bear in mind right now is that on April 7th, the suspension on Bob Armstrong will be lifted, which means he will be able to return to Continental Championship Wrestling. That word from Bob Geigel, president of the NWA. In the meantime, Ron Fuller has raised the bounty on the Bullet to $25,000. Understand, if the mask comes off the Bullet and it's proven to be Bob Armstrong, then unfortunately he's gone, and I do mean gone. Don't forget, of course, the big World Television Tournament upcoming for the world champion to meet a worthy challenger right here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Ric Flair, the NWA World Champion, and one heck of a competitor, I might add. Also, of course, the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship coming on the line next week. The exotic Adrian Street trying to regain that title. A lot of great action upcoming next week here on Continental Championship Wrestling. I hope sincerely that you will join us at that time. Until then, this will be Gordon Soley saying so long from Boutwell Auditorium.